Hey guys, this is Kelly with Chalk Couture. I'm getting ready to do May's Club Couture, which again is $20 for a month for the stencil, the paste packets, the squeegee. Occasionally they provide the surface, not always, and you only have to buy 3 months worth. So what I'm doing right now is this is a found surface, and I found it at $1.25 now. And what I'm doing is using black velvet paste, and I was going to go completely black initially, but I think I really like a little bit more of the lighter mode. So I've done that. I sealed it first with just some spray of sealer. Then I watered down the paste in a separate container because you don't want to ruin your paste for the rest of the time. And then this is May's Club Couture. And it says ice cold lemonade, refreshing and delicious, freshly squeezed. So once this dries, I'm going to spray it again to seal it, and then I will do this part for you once it does dry. But I also have a surprise to go with this.
Yeah, those dollar quarter trees, they're pretty good.
Hey guys, wanted to remind you where we were on this. So I have sealed it after I chalk washed it. I've sealed it. I put the marks in it so that I can go ahead and easily put it where it needs to be. And when you get a new stencil from Chalk Couture, most of the time, it depends upon the surface you're going to put it on, it's going to need to be fuzzed. I learned the hard way that if you don't, it pulls up. It didn't make sense because I was like, okay, if you're going to make it not sticky, how are we supposed to reuse it? But I have pulled up surface color and stuff before. So we do have a fuzzing cloth, and it's absolutely amazing. I can't find mine because we packed so much stuff up. So you can do it on a clean towel. You could do it on your shirt. Just be sure you're not doing it on something that has a lot of hair or residue that it might come off on it. So you want to do it about 2 to 3 times depending. You still could use just a little bit more. Alright, so we have this in place, and we're going to use the squeegee to just make sure that there are no air bubbles under the transfer. I don't know if y'all heard and saw that. I was talking to you, probably didn't, but you just want to make sure that you've got a flat surface, and you want to make sure that there's no bubbles or lifting underneath where you see, in this case it's the brown or black paint or paste that we had underneath it. But that's where any and all of our paste is going to go on top of this. So you don't want to have any gaps where it goes under, because you can't stop it if that's the case. So just take a couple seconds to be sure you've got everything pressed down and ready to go. Okay, I'm pressing pretty hard right now. I also learned the lesson of when you're actually applying paste or ink, you don't necessarily want to press as hard with it. So now that I know, another little wrinkle there. So now I'm just kind of double checking with the faster spread of it, and I'm not feeling any lumps, bumps, gaps,
Bubbles.
And I'm just going to go over the actual spots that I want to be sure are down. Okay, so when you get yours, as I showed you earlier, you're going to get 2 paint trays or paste trays, and you're going to need a third if it comes with 3 different colors. So you can use any plastic, glass thing that you have in your kitchen, because you want to go ahead and have everything out at the same time for the workability and not for things to dry out. So I'm going to use Storm. Oh, and this is perfect because this one's a little bit drier, and so I'm going to show you how to make it not so dry. Maybe I can actually get through. Again, this paste is you know, I don't want to say reusable, but there'll be leftover paste won't there. This one's really dry. Okay, so let me just show you what to do if this happens.
Dry or thick?
I think it's a thick, but also a little bit dried out, I think. So let's just check this out. Alright. I also probably didn't have it open enough to get stuff out. So this is what I do when it gets to the point that it's just too thick or possibly too dry, that it's not coming out. And it is not necessarily crumbly dry, but it is a bit too thick, as you can see. It's supposed to be sour cream or yogurt consistency, and so I'm going to go ahead and put this in one of these so I have the room to add the water. Alright, so since I did this, black is one of the colors that will come, or storm is one of the colors that will come for your border and for some of the words. And because I chose to whitewash mine in a grayish black color, black would probably not stand up. So in place of what you're going to get in your kit, I'm going to use Shimmer Frost, and I'm going to use that on the and you could use on the border, and you could use another a smaller squeegee if you want, because it is so close to the edge of it.
So the black was named what? Storm?
With the color that comes with this kit, in the darker color, was named Storm.
Oh, okay.
And I know it sounds like I'm pressing really hard. I'm not. The tray that I'm using is not,
It's not that thick.
yeah, so you're just hearing it vibrating from,
It's lightweight metal,
yeah.
wood.
I've continued along without you, obviously. What I wanted to show you is that I have plenty of squeegees to switch out. You're only going to get the one. So what I suggest is you get a wet paper towel and have it ready there to be able to go ahead and wipe it off, and then move on to your next color. So we're going to move on a little bit. I'm not going to bore you all evening. As I finish this to the last point of the silver, and again, you're going to have Storm in your kit. The Club Couture is $19.99, basically 20 then a month. You only have to take a Club Couture shipment 3 times, and you can say you're done. I don't really think that's going to happen, but you know, you never know. I have taken a little bit longer with this than I really wanted to, and the air conditioner has been blowing the whole time. So what I'm going to do is just put a couple little spritzes on it, especially at the top where I started, to make sure that they haven't dried out and it's not going to lift up.
Yeah, it flows through that mesh.
With the stencil. Okay, so I'm going to be as, let me see, we use this sometimes on our dog. Yep.
Yeah, we don't want to strain melt. Turn the other way.
Okay, so I'm just going to be pretty high above it, and I'm just going to give it a quick
And there's the
little
dog.
spritz. There's the dog we use it on sometimes.
Barks a
Because
little
she
bit.
won't stop
No,
barking.
not a little bit. She barks a lot.
So I'm going to give it a couple seconds, and I'm going to go ahead and peel it up. And you could do this in 2 stages as well. So I could have pulled it off a little bit earlier and let everything dry and then gone back to what I was doing. But I didn't do it, and so I just spritzed it to make sure everything was moist before I pulled it up off of it. So this is what it looks like. And
Ooh, ah.
and I'm not done. There's more to come. Hold on. We have rinsed the stencil. Actually, Mark has rinsed the stencil. And now I've got it just on a Dollar Tree flimsy cutting board.
Well, it's dollar quarter tree now.
This is true. And so what I'm doing is just going ahead and using our sponge for it, chocolate store sponge. You can also use baby wipes. I would recommend rinsing it in water, cold water, before you use the baby wipe for the scrubbing action. And this is on the side that is not sticky. So you don't want to soak these in water for any length of time. So now we're going to go ahead and pick it up. And we're going to rinse it through. And some of the colors you can see are just going to leave a stain on it. And that's perfectly okay, as long as it's not covering part of this open filament.
The mesh
To stop the next transfer from coming through. So
see, that's a mesh. See it like a screen.
Okay, so the surprise I was alluding to earlier is that we are going to actually make some lemon glasses, and you will have to use ink for anything you can bake. And the glasses you most certainly can bake, and they will last on there for quite a while. I haven't had any of mine come off.
Can you wear those?
Glasses?
Yeah.
No. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go ahead and bake it in a 350 degree oven. You turn it on 350, put them in there, and let them ride the whole 30 minutes, and then of course let them cool down before you attempt to touch them. And that is not just so you don't burn your hands. It's also so that as this is actually setting in, as it cools off, you don't want to smudge it all off or smear it. But once it's cooled, you'll be able to touch it. No problem. I do not recommend putting these in the dishwasher. I'm sure that there are lots of people that do. I just don't want to spend time doing this and then maybe have it do something in the dishwasher because something hit it or whatever, or the water just got too hot. I just prefer to hand wash these just like I would a wine glass or anything like that. So this is just a way that you could display it as a presentation, as a gift, just having guests over on your back patio. Just ink these. Remember to bake them and use ink, not paste. I just happen to have Home is Where Your Mom Is with lemons, and I just added some flowers with a bow just to kind of make it festive. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I hope y'all have had a good one and are continuing to have a good one. And I will see you next time.